Receive a color fax. In the past, only black and white documents could be sent through fax. Today, however, you can also send colored documents through fax. This has allowed various people to send not just text documents through fax, but even photographs and other colored documents. If you have never tried receiving a colored fax, here are some steps that you need to follow. Prepare your color fax machine. There are two ways for you to receive colored fax. One way is through the use of a colored fax machine. This method is similar to using a regular fax machine. But, you need to make sure that your machine can handle and process colored fax messages and fax documents. Simply read the label that comes with your fax machine to determine whether it is capable of receiving colored fax. To set up the colored fax machine, simply connect it to the power line and then to the phone line. Also make sure that you have enough paper on the fax machine, and enough colored ink for the fax machine to print out the colored fax. Use an internet fax service. An alternative to using colored fax machines is to use online fax services. This will allow you to receive fax even if you do not have an actual fax machine. You will simply use your own printer to print out the fax messages in color. Most printers today are colored in any case, which makes it easy to receive colored fax documents through internet fax services. Set up the program. If you opt to use internet fax services, you will need to set up the program first. To do this, you will need to install the program or to sign up to the program. If you choose to install the program, you will need to download the file first from the online fax service provider of your choice. The program is usually free to download and install, although you may be charged when you send fax messages through the program. Once you have finished downloading the application, simply right-click the file and then install. An installation wizard will help you to install the package. Check to see for new faxes. After you have finished installing and setting up the internet fax service, the program will work in the background and remind you whenever there are new fax messages that are waiting for you. Usually, a pop-up box will show whenever you receive a new fax message. Know the charges and rates. Before receiving or sending colored fax, you should know that there are rates that apply to sending faxes. Usually, receiving fax is free, even if you receive colored fax. But if you send a fax message, you will be charged, usually depending on the document size or the number of pages. If you send a fax message through long distance, you may also be charged with long-distance rates. With these in mind, you should be able to easily receive colored fax messages, either through a conventional colored fax machine, or through online fax services.